if I get to the opportunity to be that little pivot point for that person, that new person that's got an interest, and I can say, hey, look, don't plant that because it's going to be difficult for you. Plant like our top 6 I'm always talking about: mango, mulberry, avocado, loquat, starfruit, banana. Any of those,
Beautiful.
you plant those first, you're guaranteed you're going to get initial success. It's going to be easy. It's going to be low maintenance.
And you'll be encouraged.
And then they're going to get that good first result, that initial success, and they're going to want to do more and more and more because they feel good that they've been able to have some success early on.
Our potential, it's exponential.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another podcast. I'm here with my good friend and colleague and grower, Connor Murphy. Thank you for coming, Connor.
I'm stoked to be here, Jack. Thank you.
Heck yeah. Connor has a business just like mine in edible landscaping, and it's called Incredible Edibles. And
Incredible Edible Landscapes.
Yes, they're amazing. Yeah, and Connor and I kind of got started around the same time, don't you think?
Yeah, it was like 2017, 2018 era.
Man.
Yeah.
Is that when you started your business?
Yeah, I like to say that it was officially started right at the end of 2017. That was before I knew I was going to start a business, but that's when I planted my first fruit trees on my own land. So that kind of, I put like on our business cards, I put planted 2017, even though the business didn't start till a little bit later, but
I love that, bro.
That's what spurred it.
I love it. And dude, you've come so far. It's so cool to see your nursery. You have a location out in Loxahatchee, right?
Yeah, we have a couple acres of retail nursery space, and we stock pretty much every tropical plant you can think of that people would be into that want to grow their own food. So it's really fun.
Dude, yeah, heck yeah. So tell us, how did you get into all this, Connor?
I thought about this already. The beginning, I would have to say, was thanks to my dad, who supported my idea that I wanted to buy a property for myself. And I was like, I was 22 or 23, and I was just delivering pizzas for a living, and I wanted to buy my own place, and I knew that it was going to bring like big opportunities in life if I were to buy a house and buy a property at a young age, like 22, 23. So I was just saving up cash and kind of living low at the time and anticipating that. And then it took about a year of looking, and we finally found a nice little house in Northwood in West Palm Beach.
Yes.
And, the things just came together, and I was able to buy that house. And that's when my world opened up, because I had a yard and I could start planting my own fruit trees, and I could experiment and, just have a place to try to grow my own food. That was the goal at the beginning, was I want to plant one of everything and, see if I can grow everything that I need. And,
dude, but you took it on. Like, most homeowners aren't like creative like that. You know what I mean? To where they take out all their grass and plant trees.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's one of our big motifs, or like things that kind of drives what I do in my business is really the idea that if you have land, if you have a yard, if you have property, even if it's small, you have what should be an opportunity. And, why would you not take that opportunity to use that space and produce something and learn too, and just go on this whole ride that you and I have both been on
totally
for ourselves and for other people. Like, we have, a patch of dirt. Let's do something with it.
Right.
So why would you not?
Why would you not? It's an opportunity. It's like in our nature, right? It's like a frontier, right? Like,
yeah.
It's a total opportunity. A lot of people treat it like a burden. Like, oh, what do I have to do out there? I don't think they know what's possible,
I mean, from prehistoric times, we've always been inclined to want to tame the jungle and find the good gems that are growing in there, and then take out the stuff that we don't like and propagate what we do like. So,
Totally.
it's almost like this primal urge that I think a lot of people have, but maybe they suppress because they just see the
Interesting.
standard of the lawn and, you know, the typical landscape around them.
That's so cool. I've never heard of that. It's like in us to be collecting the seeds we like, and that's
Everybody
so
wants
cool.
to get out there with a machete and like harvest their bananas and cut down their
It's
titonia.
true, man.
Yeah, everybody wants to do it. They just don't
doesn't-
know it.
Yeah, they just don't know it. They could be working at a bank. They could be working at a grocery store. They could be, you know what I mean? They will love that. How
Yeah.
true? How true is that?
Yeah, man. You just gotta give them an entrance and opportunity to it. We'll probably touch on that later. I wanted to say, like, one of the reasons why I chose the property I did is because it had a yard. We were looking at anything that made sense as an investment and price wise, and we looked at like a couple condos and a couple other places. But I was like, you know, and things didn't work out, and then we found this place that has a probably 8-9 decade old mango in the backyard, and you know,
The Edward Mango.
yeah, the
Epic.
fabled epic Edward Mango. That now, unfortunately, that property's been sold, so somebody else gets to enjoy that fruit. But
Is it still standing though?
it's I drive by it every once in a while.
Cool.
Yeah,
It's probably loaded right now.
yeah, and I have a tree that was grafted from that exact tree that's now planted and fruiting at our new farm. So
Nice.
Yeah.
And fruiting.
yeah.
Congrats,
I'm
dude.
stoked on that.
That's so cool. It's so fun, man, doing this work.
Yeah.
So, dude, tell us about your new place, bro. You're at a brand new location. Like, I know I'm kind of jumping the story, but like, what do you got going on now?
Well, at the end of, the beginning of 2021, a series of events happened, and I like to tell this story. So I was living at the house in Northwood, and I was running my edible landscaping business, and I had my trailer parked out front, and it was a Sunday morning. I clearly remember I went outside around 9 a.m., and somebody had broken into the trailer. So they had taken bolt cutters and chewed through the latch on the back and got the door open, and the only thing that was in there was a battery-powered leaf blower, and it got stolen, obviously. So anyway, I go out there and I find this broken into trailer, and I'm like, okay, that's it. Like, we got to make some moves because we were just about to have a baby at that time. We were just about to have Jonathan, and so I was like, okay. And I told my wife, like, let's go for a drive, and we're just gonna go look and see what's out there. We didn't think we were in a position to move or to, you know, get a new place, but we just went out and drove. And so in Loxahatchee, we just driving down the main road, and there's a little property right there on the big curve in the road. If you live there, it's a very obvious spot.
On Seminole Pratt.
Yeah. It's the one main big curve in the road, so everybody going both ways lays eyes straight on that property. And it had been a nursery for I think 20 years, and I think the guy did really well the first 10 years and just completely let it go the second 10 years.
Yeah.
So it was this really like decrepit garbage dump of an old palm nursery, but it was for sale, and I would have probably overlooked it, but it said for sale by owner. So I'm like, well, at least I can talk to this guy instead of just get like barred out by a realtor. And so we just ended up, out of curiosity, talking to the guy and, you know, seeing what it was all about, and he liked us, and so the conversation continued, and then we got really enticed by it, thinking of the potential of, you know, we were just doing this in a fifth of an acre yard in the backyard. Yeah, and
just,
it
was in the hood.
And we're cramming plants in there, and we were doing really well. We were having people from, you know, all over the county and beyond come to just go on a tour of our backyard and buy plants. So we were doing pretty good in business at the time, and one thing led to another, and we got our family involved, and we ended up buying this property out there. It's 2.5 acres, and it's right on we get, I think, 60,000 cars every day driving by it. So we were like, you know, as much work as this place is going to be, as much of a dump it is to fix up, it's got the exposure to the main highway. The road had already been widened, so it wasn't going to be like encroached on anymore. and the area is just blowing up, and it's Loxahatchee. It's the acreage where everybody's got their own acre and a quarter.
They have
So
space.
that's our market, really.
Totally.
And we get people from all over the state, but our neighbors are our best customers because
So
they've
cool.
got room and they want to plant stuff, and now they've got a great nursery right down the street.
Wow.
It's got everything.
Dude, that's amazing. That same day you found that, you saw the sign
Yeah,
that you got broken into.
I think I still have the cut up latch. It's like chewed up aluminum.
No way. It was that same day you went on a drive.
Yeah,
You saw that place.
Yeah, it was that
Wow,
morning, and
bro.
I'm like, we're getting out of here. I was upset because
Man,
somebody
we are-
violated my stuff.
Totally, bro. At least you only had a little battery.
Yeah,
blower.
but it's just kind of an epic story because
Yeah.
it was like
Yeah,
one little
man.
inconvenience, relatively speaking, spurred us, and then we found this great opportunity,
So
and
cool.
it's been a huge blessing. Like the whole ride since then has been amazing.
Amazing, bro. And we could talk about so much, and I appreciate you being here. And I want to really stress like what's possible, like, so I'm trying to think like, what did getting a new bigger space, even though it was decrepit and had a lot of work to do, what did that do to open up for your business and growing, and what was possible? Like, did it help your business at all?
Well, yeah. I mean, just the physical expansion.
Yeah.
It's been a huge deal, and now we can actually make proper display gardens and have ample space to do what we do and to grow all the plants that we grow.
And by the way, it's not decrepit anymore, dude.
Oh,
you got a ton of trees in the ground.
We completely flipped the property around. I mean, we hauled so much
Wow.
trash out of there and cleaned up the place. It pretty much no square inch of that property is left untouched at this point. We've rebuilt the whole thing, and it's beautiful now.
Did it raise the property value too, you think? What do
I'm sure.
Dude.
Yeah. I mean, not that I plan on selling anytime soon, because we're just in it to win it now.
You're in it to win it. You're moving and grooving.
I will say though that in the process, like the year before and during this happening, it was actually COVID that really boosted our business. Because
how true is that, bro?
Yeah, because
Wow.
whatever happened, whatever your take on it is, all of a sudden a lot of people had more free time and they were looking for something to fill their time at home, and then you have another camp of people that were really wanting to, like, they were anticipating a crazy economy and just who knows what
Fallout.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And I had just a flood of people that were newly interested in growing their own food, and I'm like, great, it was great for business,
Totally. Bro, it was. I worked right through COVID. I tell people, I'm like, you know what I mean? There was no quarantining for us.
Yeah. I mean, I'm outside all the time. You
Right.
can't quarantine,
A wild man.
Yeah.
Dude, so tell us, what does it look like today? Like, you're doing installs for people too? Like, what do you got
yeah.
going on now? You got a team?
So we do installs, and we've done some pretty big ones, and a certain number of them a year are definitely really large scale installs, and then we'll do that, and we'll also do just plant a single fruit tree for somebody.
Totally.
Or go spread some mulch, or just do a big delivery. Anything you want. At the current moment, I'm actually trying to focus the business more on just the nursery aspect, and kind of scale
Cool.
down the design and consultation and install work, and
Cool, man.
not like cut that off, but because we love doing it, we love
Yeah.
doing the work. But I'm realizing there's so much more to do with this nursery, so much more potential
Cool,
that we
man.
haven't met, that I really, because that's where we live and that's where we spend every
Mhm.
day, and I really want to max that out because it's just getting
Cool.
started.
I love that, bro. So you're trying to like simplify too, and just be like crush the nursery game.
Yeah, I mean, that's really where my passion is.
Cool, man. Propagation.
It is. I mean, I've always liked to just collect cool stuff and like curate stuff, and then have the best of the best to offer people. And when I got into plants, that became an obsession. So I've spent the last several years and countless miles on the road collecting, every rare variety of mulberry or mango or whatever I could find.
Yeah.
And bringing them all back home. I would drive down to Homestead and come back with a backpack full of cuttings. And
we've gone on trips, bro.
oh yeah, that's the fun part.
Yeah,
is when you drive 5 hours across the state to find something rare, and hopefully you bring it back. And to me, that's like, okay, I scored this rare gem. Now I can bring it back, and if I just am diligent with it for a season or two, then I can offer this like really great improved mulberry to more people that have only had like the little ones. So that's something I just posted today. We've got some grafted Himalayan mulberries, which are like, they can be like 6 inches long.
Nice.
And then most people have only had the little dinky everbearing ones. And so I want to find all that cool stuff like that in the fruit world and make it more available for people, because the mass producing nurseries aren't putting out that cool stuff.
Yeah, man. That's so cool. Yeah, the wholesalers.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Dude, I love that. So it really is all about variety. And like you help people with that, right? Like you're like, this is the one,
Yeah, and it comes with the responsibility of having the knowledge of that stuff.
Totally.
Like I think what makes us different really is that the fundamental thing that makes us different is we grow all of our own stuff. And by that I don't mean 100% of our plants are propagated in-house, because we buy stock to fill the nursery. But we grow everything that we possibly can. If we could grow everything that we sell, we could, or we would choose to. But that makes a big difference, because a lot of places that have caught on to the fact that there's a market for edible plants, they're just buying and reselling, and they maybe don't actually have experience with a lot of this stuff. They don't know what to tell people, what advice to give, or like the knowledge of what varieties unique characteristics are and whatnot. But everything that we try to promote and stock, we grow ourselves. So we've got that kind of close relationship with that plant, and I can tell people like, yeah, your holy basil that you're gonna plant, that you're buying today, you can expect it to act this way, whereas like this other basil is gonna act this way, and same with the mango varieties. And so
totally, you have direct experience with the plants.
Yeah, and if it's something that I don't like and it doesn't work for us, I mean, there may be still a demand for it, but I'm gonna be honest about like, hey, this variety is not that special. It's not gonna really give you the value that you're looking for, so maybe try this instead. Because when somebody's planting a fruit tree, that may be 20-30 years or more worth of, are they going to like it or not? And so I want them to make the best choices they can.
That's so true, man.
Yeah,
because you don't want to find out 2 years down the road.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of, like, I get a lot of
so
Jamaicans, they want to plant Julie mango, and some of them, they can't be argued with, because it's like their national pride is for that mango.
Yes.
But then some people, I'll have a conversation if I think they want to learn, and I'll tell them like, look, here in South Florida, that mango doesn't produce as much, and from what I hear, it's not even as good as it is in Jamaica. So plant this other one instead that's gonna produce for you, and so I want people to get like I want people to have success with what they plant.
Heck yeah. So yeah, man, you and Iris are just always watering the plants and taking care of that beautiful space, and you have 2 beautiful babies now. How's it being a parent, bro, and running your business?
Oh man, it's the best thing ever, man. I'd highly recommend it. We have 2 little boys, and they're awesome. And the best part about being in my position doing what I do is I get to be around them a lot. I work a lot, but a lot of that time is spent at home because we live on site, and it's also the type of work that the kids can be around and be involved and be playing right there. I mean, Jonathan is already starting to fill up pots with soil. Like, that's just, he sees us doing it, and
he's young, dude.
Yeah, he loves his shovels, and he loves the tractor, And so it's just a great environment. It gets the kids outside all the time, which is really healthy for them. And then also just the growing your food thing with the kids experiencing that, like, it's just you can't beat that. I mean, Jonathan,
that's what it's about, right?
yeah, like,
Dude,
with this kid's
I
2
can't
years old, and like I could drop him on any location of the property blindfolded, and he would find his way to the mulberry trees. Like, he just knows where they're at, and
he's ready for him this year.
he goes and yanks the fruit off when it's not even ripe. Like, he's vicious. It's crazy.
Dude, that's amazing, man.
But yeah, it's the best thing to just be there with them and have them see us gardening all the time and what we do. It's really fun.
Totally. They see what you're doing out there. They're getting that through osmosis, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, the little kids, they just want to do what you do. So Jonathan wants to do exactly what I'm doing, which is working on plants. And I mean, the tractor's his favorite thing. Obviously,
that's amazing.
It's a 2-year-old boy.
You take him on tractor rides.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's the best.
Dude, yeah, that's really what it's about, man. That's so cool. And you're feeding them like the best quality mangoes and bananas. Like,
yeah. I mean,
are they spoiled off the bananas?
Yeah, I wouldn't say spoiled, but there are perks to growing to having a nursery, and our mango trees may grow up and go out and go planted somewhere else, but every year a good handful of them make some fruit, and they ripen up for us sometimes before they get sold. So we get to taste a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
so it's pretty sweet.
Cool, man. Yeah, what are you getting into right now, dude? What's your favorite like fruit or like tree you're propagating?
I remember years ago you were you knew I was really into figs at the time. I remember like I had collected a bunch of varieties, and you had asked me like, what's your favorite? Is fig your favorite fruit? I guess I was going through a fig phase. Now it's a lot of stuff. I'm just collecting varieties of everything. Like I said, we just released a new variety of mulberry that we grafted onto a special rootstock, so it's nematode resistant.
Nice.
We're always growing new perennial veggies. So this last year we started growing taro at a pretty good scale, and that's a fun one. Beautiful little plant. It makes a root crop. There's always new stuff that we're growing, so it's hard to point to any one thing. But
yeah, that's cool. The taro you're doing in the landscape.
Yeah, it's a beautiful little plant. So as much as everything we grow has got to have produces food and has a function. There's also just there's a lot of beauty to working with all these different plants all the time.
Yeah, man, it hits.
Yeah, and I get to design my own land. With all the things that I get to work with and learn about over the years. I get to in my head figure out what I want to plant at my place. And so right now we're really in the planting phase. We just put in a new mango a couple days ago and some more bananas yesterday, so
cool.
We're filling up our space pretty good.
Totally.
In a few years it should be very abundant.
Yeah, man.
Stoked.
Yeah, it is really like a 4 or 5 year play.
Yeah.
Right? The food forest. Yeah. Food forests take time. Like, people are like, when are we going to be harvesting? Like,
yeah, they take time, but there's some instant gratification too. Some things produce quick, but there's also, I mean, you shouldn't overlook just the joy that you can get out of just engaging with that garden all the time. I mean,
isn't that totally part of the value?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's not
man.
about the calories or the number of pounds of food that you can grow. It's about the whole experience and how it can improve your lifestyle.
Totally.
I mean,
and the integration and the slowly, because it is about that too, but it's not the only end all be all. It's the lifestyle.
Yeah, it's you may get home from work one day and then realize that your habits change from, instead of going inside and sitting down and watching TV, instead now that you've got a garden, now you're excited you get home and you don't even make it inside for an hour because you're walking through your garden, like looking at new
Wow.
stuff.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's
Sometimes
so
I'll
true.
get home after I've been gone all day, and then I know Iris is inside, like seeing me pull up and wondering what's going on, and I'll just be out in the nursery, like just looking at stuff
Yeah,
because
man.
it brings so much interest and joy, just to be able to immerse in that kind of stuff, things that are growing.
Yeah, totally. I could totally relate getting home and going right into the food forest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we were outside with a headlamp on until like 11 last night too.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. You get to watch things grow.
Man. Yeah. Man, that Edward mango tree was epic. You got me thinking about it.
Well, the word on the street is that property's vacant right now. I think the New Jersey hotshot that bought it from me, for whatever reason, they've struggled to get a tenant in there. So, maybe if you slip in at the right time, there might be some mangoes on the ground if you just, let yourself into the backyard.
I don't think I'll risk it in that neighborhood.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It's like down.
Yeah, well, that's it's a beautiful old tree, and that was one of the things that really like spurred me on and got me excited when I realized like I had just a really great, like top-notch legendary mango variety in my yard, and I found out what it was and learned about it, and then that opened up my world. I'm like, wow, I didn't even think about like what's a mango and how different the quality of the fruit can be. And then I got to know that tree, and I'm like, wow, there's a whole world of this stuff. Now we've got,
Totally.
50 some varieties that we've collected.
So cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are your faves? East of 95.
East of 95. I mean, I'll just all-time faves. Edward.
Yeah.
Pickering is always a winner. As of last year, Honey Kiss really grew on me, so we planted a Honey Kiss. I really like Sweet Tart and Orange Sherbet.
Orange sherbet, man.
And we just planted a Venus a couple days ago because I'm trying to get a good spread, and that's a really late one. It's like August, September, and they'll make clean, big, beautiful looking fruit even like 50 miles inland. I saw them at a farm. Yeah, I saw them at it's called Erickson Farm. They're out in Okeechobee, and they're big mango growers. But they got to grow the right varieties for being far from the coast with all the disease and humidity.
That's right.
So I saw they had a little section of the grove that was Venus trees, and just beautiful, clean fruit, not a spot of anthracnose on them. So
wow. Good to know, bro.
Yeah, so stick that in your book and
because Venus
recommend
are
that
good.
variety.
They're good.
They're good and they're big. They taste great.
They're big.
So I had to plant one of those just to get that, rounded out. I want early ones, middle ones, and late ones.
Yeah, heck yeah. Mangoes. Yeah, I feel like this work, it really takes like people with big hearts, who really like think bigger than their, I don't know, like what is this life all about? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, it's all about what you spend your time and attention on. It's hard for me to relate to the people that go home and just want to watch TV and don't really want to take advantage of the time that they have and the opportunity that they have in front of them every day, which you don't even have to have a yard, but like before any of this, before I planted my first tree or anything, I got really into foraging.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of time doing that. I would just go on nature walks around Palm Beach County and see what plants I could identify, and see if there was any cool. Yeah, it was fun, and that got my mind starting to churn in that way. And then when I got the opportunity to grow my own stuff, it was just like the next level and more fuel in the tank. But it's just that's my TV, and that's my entertainment and goofing off is just playing with plants. It's fun. I mean, I do it on my days off.
Yeah, man. Yeah, totally. It's what you focus on and put your time and energy on at the end of the day.
Yeah, and if more people were just had something, something like that to obsess over, like something that really provides value and is worth talking about, is worth sharing with people. Um, you know, there's just so much energy wasted on bullshit, on just drama
So
and like
true, man.
you know, politics and all the crap that people can be fixated on. You know, it's all, this is the real world, like all that's real stuff. But you know, at the end of the day, I still want to spend my time doing something that I love, and if it happens to be like valuable in a real world sense, like growing food, then that's all the better.
Yeah.
I mean, it just juices me up.
Yeah, man. Win, 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 win across the board, bro.
Yeah.
And something you could immerse your kid into.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's how humans used to live. Like, that's maybe part of the disconnect in this world.
Yeah.
You know?
And I will have to say, like, I've met so many clients or just people that ended up being clients, or just, you know, people that that I was friends with that started to see what I was doing and then like really got hooked. I've met so many people that were almost had like what do you call it when you're just too overloaded with questions to like start a garden. You know, they have that like information overload, and they're scared of messing up because of, you know, all the articles that are contradictory. And then you just start them off like with something simple, like, here, plant a banana and just watch it grow, and just start with that and simplify. You know, it's not as complicated as you think. And then I've seen people like that had like a passing interest in growing their food, that they just got off on the right foot and had some initial success and realized that it's simple and it's fun. And then those people, I can't even tell you like how much I've been blown away by some of the people I know that have just taken the wheel and gone crazy with this, just like I have.
Yeah. Our brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, I've had people that were on the fence about one plant, and then they end up turning their entire yard into like this massive edible botanical garden. And you know, they're always sharing with me like what's new and what's growing. And I'm like, this is great, you know.
Totally. And they're like planting their own stuff now, and they're just taking it on.
They're taking the wheel is what I would call it. And
that's what it takes. It really takes being a part of it, you know, because we can only do so much coming in and out of it.
We can just give people a good start. I mean, that's what you do. That's what I do. And we, you know, they'll need help here and there as they go. But, you know, ideally, we'd be getting people to get just as much fire under their ass as you and I have, and, you know, take charge. And I mean, we've got friends that have started their own businesses as well, just from seeing what we've done, and that's amazing.
Totally. Yeah, no, but you're right. Like, they need a good start. Like, we're like, here's the great soil, here's the resource, here's the plant species.
Yeah. This is where I have to give my my citrus rant, why we don't grow citrus.
Yeah, I want to hear.
You'll see how it's related. So we don't grow citrus, and I get calls all the time. Do you have a lemon? Do you have an orange? No, we don't grow it. Number one, because we don't want to use the pesticides that the state of Florida requires by law that a nursery uses to grow citrus trees and sell them. We don't want to use that stuff because it's toxic. So that's number one. But the bigger reason for me personally is it's one of the most challenging things to grow. But new gardeners have this disillusionment that it is the first thing they should start with, because they think Florida, citrus, sunshine, oranges, you know, lemons, whatever. So somebody that's never planted a garden in their life comes and asks me for a citrus, and I say, no, we don't grow them, and this is why. And if they're willing to you know, learn and kind of understand why, it really comes down to, I don't want you to buy something that's more challenging than you expect, plant it, and think it's going to be easy, and then have
Yes.
complete failure because of the disease issues and all that stuff. And then that's going to demotivate them, and they're going to think,
Totally.
oh, this should have been easy. And it was actually, the tree died, and it, it was a struggle. And I didn't have any success with my first venture into gardening. So now I'm not going to, now it's too difficult. It's too much work. I'm not going to try. So if I get to the opportunity to be that little pivot point for that person, that new person that's got an interest, and I can say, hey, look, don't plant that because it's going to be difficult for you. Plant like our top 6 I'm always talking about: mango, mulberry, avocado, loquat, starfruit, banana. Any of those,
Beautiful.
you plant those first, you're guaranteed you're going to get initial success. It's going to be easy. It's going to be low maintenance.
And you'll be encouraged.
And then they're going to get that good first result, that initial success, and they're going to want to do more and more and more. And they'll learn, and then they'll learn why it's, some of the more exotic stuff is a little bit challenging to grow, but they might want to take that challenge on then because they feel good that they've been able to have some success early on.
Yeah.
So it's all about that first experience that people have when they're like dabbling. Do I want to start a garden in my yard? Do I want to cut out a little section of grass? Well, if they plant the wrong thing, then they're going to think it's a waste of time.
Yeah, man.
So you got to get them started right.
Dude, you got to get them started right. You're speaking my language, man. It's so true because that's happened to me so much, man.
Yeah, and
it's about results. It's about results, right? Like
it's
that's
about
what
results
you're about.
that motivate, and reciprocating results, and then it becomes perpetual, and that's how people get stoked.
Like people do. Like I know I do. I plant one mango. I'm like, this is so great. Okay, I need 7 more mangoes.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's a natural progression as you get into it, right? You need to have more mulberries than just one mulberry.
Yeah, and it's just becomes fun. It becomes just like a recreational activity. Like for me, growing fruit trees is just like for some people going surfing.
Right.
It's just fun. It's stress free. It allows me to just get my mind focused on something that's productive, and also just fills me with gratitude and joy and all that good stuff. So as a retail nursery, we definitely get a lot of those first time gardeners that come in, and so we get to have these types of encounters a lot, and we're grateful for that, and for being able to steer them the right way, and then also like we get plenty of plant nerds that they already know what they're doing, and they're hunting down the butterscotch sapodilla from all the way across the state, and they show up at the gate at 8 a.m. and they're like, I got a list, just show me where it's all at. And like those are my type of people too, because they're plant nerds like me.
I love it, man. You're providing a beautiful service, man. I appreciate it.
I just love doing it.
Yeah, that's it. Dude, so when's the next Mangopalooza?
Man, we got to do it this year because we did Mangopalooza in 2021, and then we had to skip it in 2022. It was a poor season for mangoes, and we were really busy at the time, and we didn't have just the time and energy to set up a venue. So the first time we did it at our friend Erica's farm, and I think this year we've got to do it this year, because if we miss 2 years, then it's all gonna go downhill. Yeah. So we have to do Mangopalooza again, and so it was really fun when we did it. We had 100 or so people show up, and we had about just as many mango varieties for everybody to taste too. Wow. So we had 16 varieties that got voted on, and in multiple rounds, and we had a winner, which was Pineapple Pleasure, which was a great mango, and I haven't been able to keep the trees in stock at all since then, because now it says on our site this was the winner of our 2021 Mangopalooza. But anyway, I'm hoping that we can do that this year. We're gonna have to set up some infrastructure. We've got a construction project in mind to at the nursery to build a space that's more accommodating for customers, and like a we're basically gonna just build a big pole barn that we can do like
Nice.
classes and have storage for different stuff in. But just to make it more customer like walk in and hang out with us friendly. So we got a lot of plans to make the property just more of a venue for people and offer more stuff like that. But for now, being that we must do Mangopalooza this year, no exceptions, we're probably gonna have to set up like some temporary canopies and just work some magic to make it happen. But it's hectic, but it's really fun.
Cool. It's worth doing.
And I get to be on the megaphone for like 2 hours and just I get to be that asshole that's yelling at everybody and
Amazing.
it's fun.
Can I have a VIP ticket?
Yeah. Good idea. I should make VIP tickets.
Nice. There you go. There you go.
You
Well, I
might
get
get-
one because it's my idea.
You might get to eat one whole mango if you're on the VIP list instead of little bits that we're taste testing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
I'm
super
there,
fun.
dude. It's so fun. Connor, bro, thank you so much for coming. Is there anything else you want to share with our audience before we go? With all your wisdom, all your years growing, whatever you want.
Just don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Start doing something, and that's the hardest part. Start digging a hole, start throwing a tree in the ground. It doesn't matter if it dies. You got to start. That way you can continue, and that's the easier part. Is just, and you can get inspired by plenty of things around you.
Yeah, I love that. Just get started.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Thanks for coming on, Connor from
Dude.
Incredible Edibles.
It's a pleasure.
Heck yeah.